Welcome back to the Interactive Interview as we pay tribute to the one and only Luna Vachon. And joining us on the line now is somebody that really didn't cross paths with her much, but that obviously was very affected by Luna's career and Luna's presence in wrestling, and that is the First Lady of Wrestling herself, Missy Hyatt. Missy, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Oh, it's great to have you on the show. Actually, when I was thinking about putting one of these together, I was thinking that who could I get, and you were one of the ones who always comes to mind to come on.
Is that because I've been around for a long time and I know a lot of people?
No.
Yeah, okay, good, as long as it's that. Because, Luna and I, when we became friends, it was probably like 96 or something when we finally met each other, and we'd been friends since then and even called each other on the phone and talked to each other on the phone, so.
Yeah, she was...
she's a great girl.
You had to know with her, though, that there's people that you meet that you know are genuine, and just something about her from the get-go, despite, as you put it in your blog, the Ultimate Warrior style promos, there was something about her that was very genuine. You knew that she wasn't like the rest of us.
Well, Bill after asked me what would be something you could put on her tombstone, and I was like, you know what, you can't judge a book by its cover. Because, you think of this, she's got that voice, and she's scary, and she does all that, but inside she's a cream puff. And what a good soul. What a good person.
Absolutely. And, I never actually got a chance to meet her. And that was one of the things I actually saw on Mick Foley's blog a few weeks ago, that she had lost everything. And he had asked if any fans had any videos or anything they could put together for her. And I thought, okay, yeah, I'll do that. And I actually, being the anal-retentive wrestling dork that I am, I was sitting here actually going date by date from Raw episode to Raw episode, taping her performances and all that up until literally the morning of. And it was like, oh, man. I mean, I was doing it that morning. I went to work. I logged on the computer. I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah, I can't believe another one in their prime, that's way too young to pass away has passed away. And a lot of people don't know this, but like Tony Adams passed away too.
Tony Adams.
Yeah, she was married to Chris Adams, and her and Jeannie
She passed away? Oh.
Yeah, about a month ago.
Oh, no, I had heard she was sick.
Wow. Yeah, so this was an accidental OD.
Oh, man. I had heard a rumor that she was not doing well, but I didn't know she had passed.
Nope, she passed away.
This has been a bad summer, from Trent Acid to Lance Cade to Matt
It's ridiculous. It's really, really ridiculous. I know. Well, Lee Skandar, he died older. He lived his life. But, Luna I think Luna was only like a year older than me. So, she's only halfway through life. I mean, this is, they always say the 40 is the new 20. Right. People that are saying that are probably 80. But, she was a really good person. She was really nice to me. And let me tell you something, she had no problem going out there and putting people over. Like I said in my article that I wrote, she put Alicia over. She went out there and had a hell of a match, but then she got pinned clean in the ring because she knows veterans are there to help put the younger people over.
When you say Alicia, do you mean Webb? Or?
No, it's Alicia from WSU.
Oh, okay, now I know. Yeah.
And so, she went out there and she totally, trading blows back and back, but worked that match and just amazing. And she was really underrated as a worker. And then when New Jack at the Terry Funk roast last year, when New Jack, did his drugged out babble on me, she was willing to fight him.
Really?
And you can hear her. I mean, because they cut it out, but because someone video, on their camera for me, and you can hear her going, "Come on, New Jack, shut up, sit down," And
why did they cut that out, though? I mean, she should.
Because no, they cut out New Jack ranting on me for 30 minutes. Yeah, out of the DVD. But she stuck up for me. She would have beat him up. And then she was like, oh, and by the way, I'm a grandmother today. After she was going to beat up New Jack for me. I mean, she was just a good-hearted person. She was, and what really upset me, you're talking about doing the Raws and things. This is such a good person, that second-generation wrestler, that when Sable told her, if you hurt me in the ring, I'll have you fired.
Yeah.
And
you know what I said,
she would never hurt anybody in the ring on purpose. She's not like that,
Well, that's part of being a professional. I mean, you don't hurt people if you can avoid it.
Right.
And that was the thing, though. I was talking to my wife about it after she had went. I'm like, what really bothers me is that you can look at the line of WWF women's champions, and she's not one of them.
Yeah. What's up with that?
And that irked me. And I actually she did a shoot interview. Speaking of Feinstein, with Feinstein back in, I guess it was 2002, and she actually, it's one of the most surreal moments of a shoot interview that I've ever seen. She actually started crying, and she was explaining that, when she got into the business, she wanted to be the women's champion, and that it's heartbreaking when you got into the business to do something, and it's not, and once you realize it's never going to happen, that's heartbreaking, and that it wasn't.
Believe you me, that's how I feel. I mean, I know how she feels when you have these dreams that you've set up for yourself in wrestling, and then they don't happen, and then when you realize that they're not going to happen, like it's too far, then it's hard to deal with. It really is. And maybe that's a lot of reasons why a lot of people have the problems that they do have. Like, what's the other wrestler that just passed away?
Lance Cade.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking to me. My age, he has the same family situation, 2 kids. I mean, we're talking about a guy who's not even 30, and it was like, oh my God. And
yeah, it's just ridiculous. And they don't. That's what, at least Dawn Marie's trying to help with Wrestlers Rescue and trying to get some, the insurance and some things implemented to help people for when the superstar is over with or when you're thrown away by the companies, then how to deal with life.
You know what? Jake Roberts just retired, and in an interview we did with Jake described Vince McMahon as a child playing with toys. He said he has a couple of his favorites, but the rest of them he'll play with for a little while, then he'll throw in the box, and maybe he'll never play with them again, and and then gives them away to somebody else. But that's how he described the Vince McMahon treats the talent, and I thought, wow, that's pretty telling.
Oh,
actually.
yeah, and how they, and how. I'm definitely to the right. I'm extremely right wing, but the McMahon, running for whatever she's running, Senate, Congress, whatever. It's like she doesn't even have her wrestlers as employees; they're independent contractors. And the fugazi, sneaky stuff that they do there, I don't get it. Well, I don't get it, and the way the people are, and the way their talent is treated.
We were talking about Lance Cade a minute ago, and, he had a problem with one of the booking agents that he was dealing with, and he actually asked me to put out a press release for him, and I did. And, I was pretty heartbroken when he went, and Luna's almost as bad, if not as bad. And, when I saw Linda McMahon's reaction, like you, I'm also pretty right-wing. I think Patrick would admit that he is, too. I supported her up until this point. When he passed away, the press jumped on her and asked her for a quote, and she said, I might have met him once or twice. And it's like, he was one of your employees. Of course you met him.
Yeah, and it's for something that it's like he didn't matter.
It didn't
because they don't look at people as people. But we're not, it's been like that since the beginning of wrestling. The people that own it and run it, and it's like that in probably every big business. Look at the iPhone with Apple and all those people in China that were working hard and they've had all those suicides there. Yeah, I don't know if you know anything about Apple and the iPhone. But they were having. I watch European news. I don't care about the news here in the States.
Where do you get the European news? BBC America? Or?
No, I watch German, Deutsche Welle, DWTV.
Okay.
You can go online, DWTV .eu/English, and then you can get the real European news. I mean, I like BBC too. Don't get me wrong, but. They had a lot of deaths and a lot of suicides in that company, and that's, American companies having the iPhones and everything made over there in China, and all these people that work really, really hard for low wages, and then there's so much pressure, and then now they're trying to revamp the whole corporate structure that does the iPhone. Well, haven't they thought about that in TNA and WWE, that, there's a lot of people dying here. And I know they sent Luna to rehab a couple of times, but with Chris Canyon, that he called them up and he said, I don't have a drug or alcohol problem, but I do have a mental illness. And drug and alcohol is the same thing as mental illness.
Right. It's
under the same DMS-5 codes for insurance billing. So, and they said, sorry, we can't help you.
Well, that's another one that was banned.
And he called out, and he committed suicide. And he called out to them. And WWE said, "Oh, anybody that's ever worked for us, we'll send you to rehab." Well, just because his illness wasn't drugs or alcohol, he still had a coping problem, and they didn't help him.
Yeah, I agree. And there's always people. When he passed away, there was always people who came out and said, "Well, this is what did it," but it's not just the one thing.
It's not just one thing, you know.
Right.
I mean, when accidental suicide or suicide happens, the people that are left. My birth mother, she accidentally OD'd, and you're angry at them when they, because it was something stupid, didn't have to happen. And all these people that have passed away, it's like, Luna, she didn't have to die.
No. What how long ago has it been since you talked to her?
Only like a month.
Really?
Because my phone, I have a foster dog, and he ate the side of my phone, so I didn't have her number, and she had called me and left me a message, and I had her phone number, and I played phone tag with her, because after I heard about her house burning down, I wanted to send her some stuff. And I had on my website, how people should make some DVDs and stuff for.
Oh, man. That's terrible. I mean, like I said, anybody who... I wish... The one thing I said since this happened is that I hope that whatever happened, and we don't know the cause yet, I think we all draw conclusions, but we don't know yet for sure.
I heard there was blood.
Oh, man.
That's all I know. But you know how rumors are.
Exactly. I just hope that she realized at the time that, you read all these blogs from everybody putting this out there, and even fans just who never even met her like me, just going to the effort to try to do something for her, that whether she realized it or not, whether her dreams in this business ever met what she ever expected them to be, she definitely made an impact, and people care.
Oh, definitely. And I don't think she really probably realizes that, people do care about it, and care about her.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine. I've just been really aggravated about the whole thing. It just aggravates me because it's like another person has died, and they shouldn't, and there's no reason why.
It's one of the worst ones. I got an email out of the blue yesterday, and I'll admit that I called Medusa the second, not the second, but the same day.
Well, freaking Luna kicked her ass one time. I don't know if you know about that,
What do you mean she kicked her ass?
When I heard, she shot on her in the ring. Luna didn't like Medusa at all. She called her, when we were doing an autograph show, she was calling her Skankarama or something. Yeah.
Was that the MSG match, or was it over in Japan when she shot her?
I'm not sure. I don't even remember, but I know that she shot on her.
They did a match. There was an MSG match that I actually saw on YouTube when I was putting this thing together for her, and I thought that it looked a little rough, but who knows? That could just be the way she worked. But
no, let me tell you, Luna's a professional. She knows what she's doing in there. Yeah, she wasn't a fan of Medusa's. And
she was just a little bit ahead of her time too, because I think you can almost hear Vince McMahon nearly have a stroke during her and Sherry's cat fight.
Oh, my God, yeah.
I mean,
let me tell you,
you almost had a nip slip there. Luna had her pants pulled down. I mean, it was like insane. This is before Vince was doing that kind of stuff.
I know. Oh, I know. I know all about it. And now just think about that. Sherry's gone, too.
Yeah, and that was horrible. I mean, this business can suck.
Yeah, and you know what? So, entertainment, they don't cover it, and sports doesn't cover it because it's, you know what I'm saying? It's not a sport, and it's not entertainment. So it doesn't. But if I would have, and I was telling somebody this. I said, when I started in wrestling, my rookie year, and then you look back, let's say 20-something years later, I bet if I would have gone with my unit, with a unit to World War II or to Vietnam or something, I bet more people would have had a higher chance of a survival rate after 20 years than they do now in being in wrestling.
Wow. Yeah.
Because I can count all the people that have passed away my first year who I worked with.
That's wow.
Not all of the whole business, just who I worked with alone. I think it's 67%.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, there's something seriously wrong. We all know about the head injuries, too.
Right. The Ben
and
Luna
had some mental health issues, too.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Well known. Yeah. And, but a lot of that could have been head issues, too.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say, that I logged in this morning, and I didn't go after anybody except yourself and Medusa. And I had a message on Yahoo Messenger from Sean Waltman. And he said, James, I know that if anybody's going to do a tribute to Luna, it'll be you. Can I come on? And I thought that was the coolest thing. He said that it's the hardest thing he's ever had to deal with since the passing of Kurt Hennig. And he wants to come on and just talk about Luna. And I thought that was very cool because I didn't contact him. He came to me.
Right. And, people don't realize that, it's just don't judge a book by its cover. When we first met, we just clicked, and I knew that this woman has a heart of gold. Anybody that would stand up for me and going to go out, to fight New Jack, that, right there, she's got angel wings on her,
Ironically, that's what Sean Waltman called her. He used to call her Angel.
Really? See, there you go.
I do want to put you over for the Terry Funk roast, though. Completely off Luna topic. You said I don't have a problem with Mike Graham at all. He's a nice guy and all that. But when you said, "What are you smoking?" regarding him bringing Hogan to WCW, I actually
and all the other things he took credit for.
I actually sat in my chair laughing and clapping at that one. That was awesome.
Good. I'm glad this year's going to be really good. I'm going to be way more prepared. Jim Cornette.
Oh, they're going to be. Oh man.
Oh yeah, Jim Cornette, and there's going to be who's the Holly's going to be there. The guy that does the head.
Al Snow.
Al Snow's going to be there. We're doing it corny. I'm trying to think. Amy Lee's going to be on the dais. They're going to have the same horrible comedians that they had last year.
Amy Lee is wrestling's Lisa Lampanelli, I think.
No, that's what they were calling me, Lisa Lampanelli, because of my set rocked the house.
There you go.
So yeah, that's why the whole New Jack thing happened in the 30-minute tirade that he went on, just because I said a couple things about him. And I told all the guys before that, listen, this is a comedy roast, like Comedy Central. I'm going to bag on you guys, but this is for the roast. So
right.
This year's going to be good. This year will be good.
I'm looking forward to it, and I'm hoping, I wanted to say this too. There's a lot of shows out there that aren't even doing Luna tributes, and I said to Patrick off the air before we even got started that we're probably not even going to talk about anything modern wrestling this week. It's just going to be Luna, and I think that's appropriate because
definitely. She was really underrated, man, and she was a second generation wrestler. It was she needs to get the credit that she's due.
Well, hopefully we'll find out exactly what did happen, rumors aside, and I'm just glad that you came on and did this with us. Joking aside, you're always, everybody might have this preconceived notion like she did of you when you said she said you were the biggest bitch and
total bitch. She said it right. That's how it is. She's like, oh my God, I always heard you were the biggest bitch, and you're really nice, And it was like, and I was like, yeah, it's usually always the guy saying that stuff about me. But yeah, we became friends, and that she's just one of those good-hearted people.
Absolutely.
She's going to be missed.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sorry that we upset you, but I'm glad that
that's okay.
I'm glad you did this. And where's Apter's thing going to be published?
He's on, what is the website, One Wrestling?
One Wrestling, yeah.
Yeah, he said it's up right now.
Oh, very good. I'm glad to hear that. I might have to go direct people to that one because Bill is, a wonderful guy. So I'm always glad to promote anything he does. Actually, I could tell from what he posted today that the news broke. That
he's the one that broke it to me because he called me and asked me if I knew about it. Wow. Yeah.
Horrible.
And I was just like, oh, my God, no. Because, I just had a phone call from her, not that long ago.
Well.
Less than a month.
Yeah.
So it's just sad.
What you going to do? It's one of the biggest losses that we've had. You know, I said it's been like the summer of death. You look at Trent Acid, another young guy died.
Oh my God, yeah, I did his memorial show.
Yeah.
I love Trent. Let me tell you something. I've chased him around dressing rooms before. Come here, little boy. I got candy in my pocket, you know, like that. Do you like older women?
Oh.
Yeah. Poor Trent. I mean, that's another one. I mean, it's just ridiculous. There's, you know, and WWE and TNA, they know, but they don't care because that's a great analogy. What Jake Roberts said about the toy box, the toys. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. And you know, and because they don't really, you know, they don't care as long as you can make them money, you know, they'll like you. But if you can't make them any money, then they have no reason. But I mean, it's like that in a lot of other companies and stuff. But in other companies, at least if you're an employee, you have rights. I mean, you don't really have any rights the way it's set up.
And, you know,
yeah, because if you don't do it, there's 100 other people out there that would love to do it for less money.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? You posted something in your blog, and I did want to make mention of it. That you know, a lot of wrestling fans might have forgotten after she retired in 2007. And I said to my wife, you know, right after I read it, that this website that this radio show is airing on. You know, part of the reason why I made it is because I didn't want things like that to ever happen. I don't want any of these guys to be forgotten for what they've done. And you know what? We're unfortunately losing so many of the guys that I grew up watching, that I grew up idolizing, that I grew up really admiring. And you know what? Anytime, I'm not ever going to let this site go away because I want to make sure that we put up the appropriate respects to those who really made this business what it is.
Definitely. And, you know, nothing's going to happen until some crazy person takes an MP40 and goes and either takes a whole bunch of them hostage, and you see it on CNN. So once they go postal and they call up the Nazis, then you know, and it becomes headline news like that, does a Columbine on one of them, then everybody's going to go, that's
Billy Jack Haynes almost did it once. Did you hear about that?
No.
Billy Jack Haynes. They brought him in. And
I think I did hear about that. Didn't he pull a gun on a promoter or something?
They brought him in. WWE was going to rehire him because he had come up with some other character after he had been there the first time. And they had him do a series of dark matches, and then one of the guys pulled him aside and told him that, you know, they're just screwing with you. They're not going to bring you in. And, you know, because Vince was mad about the whole current affair thing that he did.
Okay.
And
I didn't know he did a thing on Current Affair, but
he appeared on Current Affair about they did a story about the steroid trials. And he appeared on that, and he basically said that, you know, I did steroids in this thing, you know, and he said
so why did they even have him try out then?
They wanted to screw with him to give him hope that he was going to be brought back. So he said he finally got pissed off enough to where somebody told him, I think it was Hercules, who's another guy no longer with us.
Right.
Hercules told him, he went to his car, got a shotgun, and ran into the building, and Hercules had to tackle him and stop him, otherwise he was going to go shoot Vince McMahon right there. And that's...
Hercules, why'd you stop him? No. Sorry. No.
And that's another guy.
No, he's got to get the whole McMahon family. If you cut the snake's head off at the head, the body still moves. You got to get the whole family. Sorry.
Well, Stephanie just had another kid, so they're multiplying.
Then you got to, like I said, you got to wait for the whole July 20th plot all over again. You got to get them all.
Yeah. Well, on that present note...
Now somebody's going to go crazy and go up there and take their WWE headquarters over, and helicopters, and CNN's going to be there and everything, and they're going to say, because Missy Hyatt was on the couch and she left. The only way people are going to, you know, now I'm going to get blamed for everything, like I always get blamed for everything, so I'll just go right now, yes, it's all my fault. Everything is all my fault. I'll take it. I don't care.
Oh.